The Mountaineers are tied for 21st in the National Coaches Poll, number 20 in Intermat, and as high as number 18 in another set of rankings from Win Magazine. I guess we can just kind of chronologically go down the line. Last Friday, you held a duel with a top 10 opponent, Virginia Tech. Took 3 of 10 matches, and I think 3 or 4 others were really close. You can kind of recap how you thought your team performed in front of a big crowd on Friday night.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody that made Varsity Gym an electric place Friday night. I think that's the best home dual meet atmosphere that I've ever experienced. I mean, I think the crowd was as loud and as into the match as any dual meet that I can ever remember in my time here. And we've had some big ones. And without students being here yet, I think it's pretty special that we had that kind of atmosphere with no students on campus. So, first off, I would just want to thank all of our fans, all of our supporters. They were tremendous. I think they helped inspire our guys on Friday night, and I think we put forth a good effort against a really, really good team. Obviously, I'm never happy with a loss. But I do think there was a lot of things that our guys went out there and they laid it on the line. They gave themselves opportunities to win. And I think it was a very, very competitive match. I think anybody that watched that match would think that there were opportunities there where it could have been closer than it was. We did, like you mentioned, we won 3 of the 10 bouts, but we lost 3 matches. We got upset at 149. Wasn't a great way to start the duel, but we got upset at 149 in an overtime match, which could easily went the other way. And then at 74, kind of a controversial match, but we ended up losing that match by 1 point. We're right there in that match to win it. And then at 33, we lose in overtime as well. So, those 3 matches all went in their favor, the 3 closest matches. If we can win 1 or 2 of those, then we got a chance to win the duel. And I think that was the thing that we need to probably do a better job of, figuring out ways to win those tight matches. But, it's hard to give yourself chances to win those kind of matches against top-ranked opponents. So I was proud of the effort our guys showed. I was proud of the fight that they showed. And, I think that we've kind of shown that those rankings are validated, that we are a really good team. And, we've got a lot of things to improve on, a lot of things to build upon. We're not near where I think we can be, but I think we're moving in the right direction in a lot of weight classes.
To come out of that a little bit banged up, I know a lot of people were concerned with the injury that Sean had. Can you just provide an update on his status?
Yeah, unfortunately, we got some pretty devastating news yesterday that Sean Carter had a tear in a tendon or a ligament in his knee, and he will be out the rest of the season. Unfortunately, he's going to have surgery tomorrow, and so we wish Sean, a speedy recovery, and our hearts go out to him. Those that watched the match saw it's kind of in overtime, and got his leg up, and as the guy tripped to finish, his knee gave out, and it looked pretty bad on Friday night. But we were hopeful that maybe it was something minor, but ended up finding out after the MRI on Monday that he does have a tear in his knee, and a ligament, and so he's going to be out for the rest of the season, and we wish him well in his recovery. We got banged up at heavyweight, but I do expect Mason will be back probably within the next couple of matches. I think he'll be capable of coming back. Just a minor ankle sprain. So.
And you rolled on the Citadel, and Ethan Oakley will step into that spot at 133. He was able to make his first SoCon dual start as you guys went and won 34-6 at the Citadel, and just what you kind of thought about that performance.
Well, make no mistake about it. I mean, it's hard when you lose a top 20 ranked guy in the country off your team for the year. Anytime you have a season-ending injury for that caliber of wrestler, it's not a great situation, and you don't like to hear that. But make no mistake about it, I've got a lot of confidence in Ethan Oakley. I mean, Ethan Oakley's a really good wrestler. He hasn't started for us yet, but he's been in national tournaments since he's been in college. He placed at Southern Scuffle a year ago. He's beaten returning national qualifiers, and had a great performance at U23 Nationals this summer. Like Ethan Oakley is a really, really good wrestler, and he's very capable of stepping right in and filling that hole with Sean being out for the year. But obviously it's different when you haven't wrestled in the spotlight and you haven't been in our starting lineup because the pressure is a little bit different. So I think that'll take a little bit for him to get used to. But honestly, I think it'd probably be good for him to kind of get some reps in, feel those those feelings and emotions that come with being a starter in big dual meets. And I think he'll grow from it. But I'm very confident in Ethan Oakley and his ability to get it done. Our goals doesn't change, because of Sean's injury, or it doesn't change for that weight class. We still, compete for a conference championship and qualify for the national tournament at 133.
You took 9 out of 10 matches down in Charleston in a SoCon duel to improve to 2-0 in the league. And just what were your thoughts on after you had some time to look back at how you guys performed down there?
Well, Sunday was, it was not my most favorite performance of our team. And obviously we won the duel and we won 9 out of 10 weights, but I was more concerned of how our guys, how they came out and responded after a tough loss on Friday night. I didn't feel like we came out with a lot of passion and energy, and that was something that I really wanted to see. It was a hard trip. We wrestled late Friday night, have a back and forth duel with Virginia Tech, and suffer the loss there. Get on a bus Saturday morning, travel to Charleston. Guys have to make weight again, but those are the opportunities that really you learn how to handle a little bit of adversity. When things are not ideal, when the situation is not ideal, we put our guys in those situations to kind of for them to learn how to deal with that. And, I didn't think we wrestled great on Sunday. We had a couple guys that wrestled okay, but all in all, I wanted to see more passion, more energy, and more excitement to have another opportunity to wrestle. And, I didn't feel like, we stepped out and wrestled with the same intensity we did on Friday night, which I was a little bit disappointed, and I got on my team about. We've got to be more consistent. Our efforts got to be the same, and, no matter how we feel or, how hard the weekend's been or how hard the travel schedule's been, because that's what matters at the national tournament. Those guys that can put it together, grind through adversity, that's what it takes to get it done. And so everything we do is preparation for the NCAA tournament. And so, I didn't think that, Sunday was, kind of, the energy and the passion that I wanted to see. But I addressed that with the team, and they were well aware of kind of my feelings on that duel. And I expect to see a much more consistent effort and, competitiveness each and every time that we step out.
This week with 6 individuals ranked nationally in the top 33, 4 guys who have NCAA experience, and Caleb's made a jump with his top 20 win on Friday, and then first-year starters like Tommy and Will keep getting a little bit more respect nationally. Just your thoughts on when you see, some of the rankings for some of your guys.
Yeah, I think it speaks to the state of our program that over half our lineups in the national rankings, their weight class, and some of those guys are young. We've got some veterans, but we also got some really young guys like Tommy Askey and Will Miller that are doing a great job. I still think they're getting snubbed in the rankings just a little bit. Will Miller's had a lot of great wins, and so has Tommy Askey, and I think they're both being punished for a couple of losses they had the first weekend of November, and they were young, and so I think it is what it is. I think they're both capable of wrestling with the best guys in the country, and I'm excited about those guys. And then, our other guys, our veterans, they've been battle tested this year. Even John, obviously he's taken some disappointed losses, but there should be no question when he goes to the national tournament that he's wrestled the level of competition he needed to prepare himself to perform his best in Tulsa. Same thing with Caleb Smith, Will Formato. All of our guys are battle tested. And I think hopefully you're going to see when we get in the conference schedule, the rigor of our schedule is going to pay big dividends as some of our young guys, I think, are going to step up big for us and, maybe in some key spots.
Just looking forward for this weekend and early next week, not to look too far ahead. You've got at VMI on Friday, and then the next time you're in varsity gym is Tuesday against Duke. If you can just look forward a little bit to what's next for your team.
Yeah, first up is VMI, and we're going up there to Lexington on Friday night. Typically that's, a pretty hostile environment if they get all the cadets there to watch the match. Our guys, I expect them, and that's the challenge I gave to them on Sunday. I want them to be able to create the same energy and passion for every single dual meet. And, that's the challenge to our guys. I want to see how we compete in 10 weight classes, and how we, measure our performance against ourselves. Like, are we executing and wrestling at a high level each and every time out? And so that's the challenge at VMI. I want our guys to go out, and I want them to wrestle hard and with a lot of passion. And then we get another opportunity on Tuesday to be back here at home against an ACC opponent. And, probably that's the first one at home while we've had students on campus. So I would really encourage our student body to come out, support your wrestling teams, ranked top 20 in the country against an ACC opponent next Tuesday night. Let's pack Varsity Gym, and you guys can see the passion and the energy that this program brings.